Here we go, part two. This part is where things get really weird in this story, and the title of this is An Overnight Success 4 Years in the Making. So, okay, here's what happens next. No, I don't hear from the Curio Cards team for several years. What else has happened over that time? Well, we went into lockdown, right? The world shut down in 2020. And crypto went up and down and up and down. I relocated to La Union. I'm not even living in Manila anymore, etc., etc. Many things have happened to me. One morning, March 2021, I wake up and I see that my Twitter inbox and my Facebook inbox is blowing up with DMs from strangers. And they're all asking me kind of the same thing, no? They're all asking me, hey, aren't you one of those artists in that Curio Cards collection from 2017? I can't actually remember what they're talking about. So I have to go through my emails and my Skype messages, and I look for kind of, what is that Curio Cards thing? Because again, it's been 4 years now, and I can't even remember what it is. Now, it turns out what happens is, someone has discovered the Curio Cards collection is the very first example of NFT art ever created in the world. And they have unearthed the original cards, and it's actually gone back on sale for the first time in 4 years. And if you know anything about NFT art, or the crypto community, if you are the first of anything in crypto, like they will just they give you a very certain amount of reputation and credibility instantly. Kasi kayo yung nauna eh. In fact, we were so early that we actually were before the original concept of NFTs was even published. So this is kind of what happened over the next couple of weeks. Curio Cards is hailed as one of the first examples, as the first example of NFT art ever in the world. And then they put it back on sale on this marketplace called OpenSea. So OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace in the world. And here's the part that I was saying was really interesting. So the 7 original artists are assigned 1% royalties for all of those sales. So weird. No, it's like, what the hell just happened there? But I didn't completely understand what the impact of all of this actually was at the time. Now, I am going to give you a couple of facts, 3 facts that are going to progressively blow your mind with each new fact. So, fact number 1, the Curio Cards collections goes on sale on OpenSea. Over the next 6 months, they sell about $100 million worth of volume. So the artwork of those 7 artists earn about $100 million over 6 months. Second fact, this one's super interesting, very relevant to the Philippines. The average year of the Philippine art industry is only about $85 million. So that means that the Curio Cards collection in 6 months outsold the entire country of the Philippines art industry in half of the year. By the way, this statistic is from 2019, but I couldn't find anything from earlier. But I can bet you that during the lockdown, the numbers were probably even worse. So $85 million is kind of the most recent data that I had. Either way, this one NFT collection outsold the entire country of the Philippines. The third fact is, with over $100 million in sales, Curio Cards is not even amongst the top 20 best-selling NFT art collections in the world. What does that mean? It means that there's so much more money in the NFT art world than maybe you guys think. Because even at $100 million in sales, it wasn't even enough to break into the top 20 or the top 25. I think we're somewhere in the top 50, to be honest. So that's kind of where we're at, no? And I have one fact that I know that I said there were 3 facts, but there's a bonus fact here, number 4. The global NFT market was $41 billion in 2022. So that's all of the sales, all of the trades that happened in 2022. The traditional art market is $60 billion. So what does that mean? In the space of a couple of years, NFT art is actually starting to catch up to traditional art. Not just catch up, but it's like 60% of the way there, and it's only been around for 3 or 4 years. The traditional art world has been around for hundreds of years. It's catching up at a velocity that is kind of mind-blowing. No? Kasi like it's already about 60-70% of the way there. One other very interesting thing that happened to us. So the Curio Cards collection, because it's trading cards, no, each card in the set actually has many, many editions, like hundreds of editions, hundreds of copies, just like any trading card. It turns out it's actually very, very hard to complete the set. Many people don't want to let go of the copies that they have. So there are a handful of sets around the world na kumpleto, that they have the one of each of the 30 cards. So one of them went on sale at Christie's. So Christie's is an auction house. If you know anything about art, Christie's is the world's oldest auction house. They've been around for about 400 years. They are the auction house where you would buy Picassos or Da Vinci's. In fact, they're the auction house where Bill Gates spent about $30 million buying Leonardo da Vinci's notebook. One set of the Curio cards went on sale at Christie's. This was in October of that same year, and at auction it went for $1.1 million equivalent. But actually, so the milestone here is the fact that this was the very first time that Christie's ever charged for a piece of art, but they charged for it using cryptocurrency. So ibig sabihin, yung bumili nung set na to actually paid them in Ethereum, right? So it was actually a milestone in the history of NFT art. If you're wondering what the state of the crypto art world here in the Philippines is, this is the hashtag that you should be following, hashtag CryptoArtPH. And I took a couple of screenshots of the works of other Filipino artists because around this time, so this is all happening in 2021, many artists that were local were already getting into NFTs for the first time. Usually quite young, usually quite experimental. And you can see from the art style that it's very pop culture. No? It's not exactly the kind of the museum type art that you are used to. This is very contemporary.